Hi, this is Andreas Antonopoulos from Let's Talk Bitcoin. I'm here in Latin America, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, at the Latin America Bitcoin Conference. Very excited to be here. I'm here with Tatiana Moroz, an artist, songwriter, and she is producing a song on Bitcoin that she will be presenting for the first time here at the conference. Tatiana, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be here.
So tell me a bit about your background. You're an artist, you're a songwriter. Tell me about your background in that space.
Okay, well, I'm a singer-songwriter. I've been singing since I was a very, very little girl. I always knew what I wanted to do. And there was always an element in my upbringing where I wanted to save the world and make things better. I was very interested in the way that the world was organized. And of course, I was very inspired by a lot of the musicians from the 60s and 70s and the change that they brought about in the world. And then a couple of years ago, I got involved with the Ron Paul movement and libertarianism, and later, subsequently, a little bit of anarchy. And I was doing a lot of music that had anti-war themes and just to invigorate the people and encourage them to use the internet in order to communicate with one another. And I found out about Bitcoin a couple years ago, but it didn't really click with me until very recently. So while I've been traveling around South America, I've been speaking with a lot of different people about Bitcoin and really realizing the true power that Bitcoin has to revolutionize the world in a completely different way that seems arguably a little easier than holding up picket signs and arguing with the government. So I think it's a peaceful exit strategy from the current system, and that's why I was inspired to write the song.
You've also been involved in some of the related movements like the Free State movement and participated in many of those conferences. I'm guessing you were at PorcFest recently, and our co-host Stephanie Murphy is also involved in that movement. How do you find the overlap between the community, the libertarian community, and the Bitcoin community?
Well, I mean, the libertarian community is my family. They welcomed me with open arms. I've gotten to perform all over the country, and every time I see everyone, it's like coming to a family reunion. I've noticed that there is a similarity with the Bitcoin people, because you do have some of the libertarians there. But I think what it is being with people who truly understand what this is about. And I think that it's hard for people when they're trying to explain Bitcoin to their families and their friends that don't really understand it. So there's a definite camaraderie that goes on, and I think it's great because you're pulling in different kinds of people. The one thing that I do like, even though I feel that liberty and freedom are universals, I think that people have walls up against any political party that isn't their specific team that they grew up rooting for. Bitcoin has the ability to bring in all different kinds of people in a way that affects people universally. So I think that that's really appealing about it.
Yes, very much so. And it's not only a better and easier way, it's a much more effective way to achieve some of the shared goals of all of these different movements.
Right. Well, that was, I have a line in this song that hopefully will stay in, otherwise referencing it will make no sense. But I said, Nakamoto came along with more than a song and gave the labor back to man. And for me, as a songwriter, that was a very humbling, and I'm happy to be humbled by this magnitude of this invention and of this concept. I can write songs all day long. People can do news reports and try and wake up the masses, but something like this doesn't even require that. It's a completely different, separate way of looking at things, and it has a peaceful exit strategy, which I think is really important.
One of the sayings in Bitcoin is that Bitcoin is like a newly discovered country or a newly discovered continent, and we need everything.
Yes.
And to technologists, that means tremendous opportunity to build new products and services and to reinvent some of the financial industry. But I take that sentence even more broadly. We are a community on this new undiscovered country. And so when we say we need everything, that also means art and culture and music and comedy. And so I'm very excited to hear now artists getting involved in this space. Can you tell me a bit about how you try to use your music to bring that cultural aspect to Bitcoin and bring that community together?
Well, I think when I first started doing a Bitcoin song, I didn't really understand the weight of what I was embarking on. So as I developed the song and as I shared it, I had this one friend that I shared it with, and he, really schooled me on the weight of everything. And I think that it is not just a jingle anymore. It's a song because this is, in a way, the story of man and our evolution. So I think it's very inspiring. I think that artists are missing the boat when they're only singing about love songs. Not that love isn't important. I have a ton of sad love songs, but I think that this is an exciting new thing that is very specific to our time, and it's a new age for people. And I think that it should be inspiring people, and it certainly inspired me. So I'd like to go around and interact with different artists and encourage them to take Bitcoin as payment and to participate in this, because they need they need to be able to break out of the paradigm as well. And I think it appeals to that type of a mind. A creative person is going to like Bitcoin. They just need to be told about it in a way that they can actually understand, which I think that you guys are doing a really great job with.
Thank you. So you're going to be performing your song at the close of the Latin America Bitcoin conference, but I was fortunate enough to hear a preview. And certainly what struck me from listening to your song was how well you have captured the real spirit of the community and the principles and ideology and the real hopeful, optimistic spirit of the Bitcoin community in your lyrics.
Well, yeah, I think it's great. I'm so happy to be here, and South America is fantastic. And I think that specifically South America, in a place like Argentina, where their currency is wildly fluctuating, they can appreciate something like Bitcoin here. And that's really exciting because you don't have to limit it to the United States. It's not a matter, I believe in your lecture, you talk about how it's not really a matter of it being, better than the US dollar. It's being better than the bottom 40 currencies or whatever it is. And that is something I hadn't considered before. And I think that that's really exciting in context of where we are right now.
Well, certainly where the darkness is darkest, it's easiest to see the light. And Argentina is one of those places, and I'm absolutely sure you're going to rock the conference at the end of it, and we really appreciate it. So with that in mind, I would like to thank you for joining our show, Tatiana. And
thank you for having me.
Let's listen to your song.
I didn't want to give any of my money to a nation based on war. I wanted to be free, nothing holding me back from where I want to go. I thought about it, what was the choice that I made? Was you take away the money, don't give up your money, use Bitcoin whenever you pay. Use Bitcoin whenever you pay. I didn't want to waste any of my time working for the government. I wanted to be kind, open up my mind, just like an instrument. I thought about it, what was the choice that I made? Was to take away the money, don't give up your money, use Bitcoin whenever you pay. 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 Use Bitcoin whenever you pay.
EasyDNS is the Swiss Army knife for your domain names, helping meet their customers' individual needs since 1998. EasyDNS has been an outspoken critic of SOPA and CISPA. EasyDNS was an early supporter of Bitcoin, and now they are proud to sponsor this show. Do business with a company that shares your values. Get a 13% discount when you pay with Bitcoin. Go to bitcoin.easydns.com and be sure to use discount code LTB.